If you've ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, doubting yourself, or oddly smaller than you felt before, this video might explain why. Because jealousy doesn't always show up as anger or insults. Sometimes it hides behind innocent questions. Questions that sound normal. Questions that seem caring. Questions that look like curiosity. But beneath them is something else entirely. Comparison. Insecurity. Resentment. And a quiet desire to pull you down to their level. Today, we're breaking down the 5 questions jealous people always ask. Once you recognize them, you'll never hear them the same way again. And more importantly, you'll stop falling for them. Stay until the end, because the final question is the most dangerous one. It sounds supportive, but it's designed to make you second-guess your entire life. Let's begin. The first question jealous people always ask is, how did you afford that? On the surface, this sounds harmless. Even friendly. But listen closely to the tone, not the words. This question isn't about curiosity. It's about disbelief. They're not impressed. They're unsettled. They expected you to struggle. They expected you to be stuck. They expected you to stay in the same place. And now you didn't. So instead of congratulating you, they interrogate you. How did you afford that? Are you sure you can maintain this? Is this really sustainable? What they're really asking is, do you deserve this? Jealous people feel threatened by progress that didn't come from them. Especially if you didn't announce your grind. Especially if you improved quietly. They want to find a flaw. A shortcut. A secret advantage. Because if your success is legitimate, then their excuses collapse. The correct response is not over-explaining. Over-explaining feeds jealousy. You don't owe anyone a breakdown of your finances, your struggles, or your sacrifices. Sometimes the most powerful response is simple confidence. I worked for it. I planned for it. I'm proud of it. Then silence. Silence forces them to sit with their discomfort. The second question jealous people always ask is, are you sure that's what you want to do? This one is subtle. It sounds like concern. It sounds like advice. But it's not. This question is planted when you're about to grow. When you're stepping into something new. When you're leaving a familiar box. Jealous people don't fear your failure. They fear your success. Because if you succeed, you confirm something they've been avoiding. That they could have tried too. That they chose comfort over courage. So they introduce doubt. Are you sure that's what you want to do? Have you thought it through? What if it doesn't work out? Notice how these questions are never followed by support. No resources. No encouragement. No belief. Just hesitation. Jealousy loves hesitation. Because hesitation keeps you small, safe, and relatable. When someone truly supports you, they don't question your ambition. They ask how they can help. Jealous people ask questions that stall you. Supportive people ask questions that strengthen you. Pay attention to the difference. The third question jealous people always ask is, why do you always talk about your goals? This one hurts because it shames ambition. They frame your dreams as arrogance. Your vision as bragging. Your excitement as ego. But what they really mean is, your goals remind me of what I gave up on. Jealous people are uncomfortable around driven individuals. Because drive exposes stagnation. They don't want you to stop talking. They want you to stop believing. So they label your passion as annoying. They downplay your dreams. They mock your consistency. The truth is simple. People who are building don't get offended by goals. They're inspired by them. Only people who've settled feel attacked by ambition. Never let someone convince you to dim your excitement. Energy attracts opportunity. Silence attracts stagnation. You are allowed to dream out loud. Just be mindful of who's listening. The fourth question jealous people always ask is, who do you think you are now? This question usually appears after change, after growth, after confidence, after boundaries. It's designed to pull you back into an old identity. They don't miss you. They miss access to the version of you they could control. When you upgrade your mindset, jealous people feel abandoned. Not because you left them behind, but because you refuse to stay small for their comfort. This question carries guilt, shame, and resistance. Who do you think you are now? You've changed. You're not the same anymore. Exactly. Growth requires change. And anyone who benefits from your old limitations will resist your evolution. You don't need permission to grow. You don't need approval to elevate. And you don't need to apologize for becoming more. People who truly love you don't ask who you think you are. They remind you who you've always been becoming. The fifth and most dangerous question jealous people always ask is, do you really think you're better than everyone else? This is the ultimate trap. Because no matter how you answer, they win. If you say yes, they label you arrogant. If you say no, they push you back down. This question is rooted in projection. They equate self-respect with superiority because they lack both. Confidence threatens insecure people. Boundaries offend those who benefit from your lack of them. Believing in yourself does not mean you think you're better. It means you refuse to live beneath your potential. Jealous people want equality at the level of comfort, not effort. They don't want to rise with you. They want you to descend with them. Never confuse self-belief with ego. Never confuse growth with arrogance. And never let someone shame you for knowing your worth. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Jealous people don't hate you. They hate what your progress reveals about them. They ask these questions not to understand you, but to protect their self-image. The moment you stop answering these questions defensively, their power disappears. You don't need to explain your life. You don't need to justify your ambition. And you don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. Your growth will always offend someone. Let it. Because staying small never inspired anyone. If this video helped you see people more clearly, don't ignore that awareness. Use it. Protect your energy. Choose your circle wisely. And keep building quietly. And here's something most people don't realize until it's too late. Jealous people don't always come from outside your circle. Sometimes they're friends. Sometimes they're co-workers. Sometimes they're people who watched you struggle and felt comfortable there. Your growth disrupts the unspoken agreement that everyone stays the same. When you break that agreement, questions start appearing. Not to guide you, but to slow you down. This is why protecting your mindset is non-negotiable. Not everyone deserves access to your plans, your next move, or your victories in progress. Silence can be strategy. Distance can be peace. The moment you stop internalizing their questions, you regain control. Because your life isn't a group project. It's a personal mission. If you want more content that exposes hidden behaviors, mindset traps, and psychological truths most people miss, subscribe now. Like this video so it reaches others who need to hear it. And comment below which question you've heard the most. Remember this, Not everyone who questions you is curious. Some are threatened. And your job isn't to convince them. It's to keep going.